Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't he look glum? He looks glum. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president.
Come on, Chuck, look on the bright side. And you're gonna need to, because Kamala's chances of becoming the first female president plummeted even further last night after President Trump decided to serve up a supersized platter of zingers at the annual Alfred E. Smith Memorial Foundation dinner at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York City, which raises funds for Catholic charities supporting children in the Archdiocese of New York. And I can truly say, it was one of President Trump's best nights. And that's saying a lot. It was a top 10 moment, truly a masterclass in humor, delivery, grace, and tact. Kamala, who isn't funny, of course, and who despises Catholics, was too afraid of being called out by President Trump to even show up either way, instead sending an extremely unfunny pre-recorded skit of her and former Saturday Night Live cast member Molly Shannon as her superstar character, an untalented attention-starved Catholic schoolgirl with a penchant for falling over and making a huge mess. I guess in Kamala's mind, that was good enough for the religious community that she clearly disdains so much. She was roasted by the master of ceremonies as well, comedian Jim Gaffigan, for being the first presidential nominee since 1984 to skip the time-honored charity event because she's a coward who lacks any sense of humor.
You know, this event has been referred to as the Catholic Met Gala. 22% of Americans identify as Catholic. Catholics will be a key demographic in every battleground state. I'm sorry, why is Vice President Harris not here? I mean, consider this. This is a room full of Catholics and Jews in New York City. This is a layup for the Democratic nominee. I mean, in her defense, she did find time to appear on The View, Howard Stern, Colbert, and the longtime staple of campaigning, the Call Her Daddy podcast.
President Trump then joined in on the fun, scorching Kamala for her incredible display of disrespect to America's Catholic community.
Come in, you gotta get out and vote. And Catholics, you gotta vote for me. Just remember. You better remember I'm here, and she's not. I could have done that too. But you do something that's incredible, the Catholic Church, you're helping the poor, educating children, and supporting the vulnerable. But if you really wanted Vice President Harris to accept your invitation, I guess you should have told her the funds were going to bail out the looters and rioters in Minneapolis, and she would have been here, guaranteed she would have been here. Guaranteed.
He also skewered Tampon Tim for his male menstrual cycle mania. Watch.
I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz.
And then he cooked the small band of left-wing losers who call themselves White Dudes for Harris.
There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris? Doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. Every one of those people is voting for me.
He also made light of the shameful and egregious Democrat-led lawfare against him.
It's a true pleasure to be with you this evening. Amazing pleasure. And these days it's really a pleasure anywhere in New York without a subpoena for my appearance.
And he highlighted the disturbing reality of not one, but two failed assassination attempts against him.
Tradition holds that I'm supposed to tell a few self-deprecating jokes this evening. So here it goes. Nope, I've got nothing. I've got nothing. There's nothing to say. I guess I just don't see the point of taking shots at myself when other people have been shooting at me for a hell of a long time and they shoot hard.
Talk about a zinger. But then seriously, he finished on a very serious and inspiring note, praising the good Lord for protecting his life.
Having recently myself survived 2 assassination attempts, I have a chart that went down to the right. Fortunately, I looked at it's my all-time favorite piece of paper. But it went down and I looked to the right and I said, you know, was that luck? What was that, luck, or was that God that did that? And I think it was God that did that. I do. But I have a very fresh, Cardinal, I have a very fresh appreciation for how blessed we are by God's providence and his divine mercy. I mean, that was something, I was not supposed to be here tonight. That I can tell you. So with God's help, I know there is nothing that cannot be achieved. We can achieve so much good with this country and get together and unify.
Even Brian Potato Head Stelter himself, of fake news CNN, had to heap praise upon President Trump.
Brian Stelter, what did you make of this performance?
Oh, no, don't ask me first. I thought he was funny. I thought he actually got a few great jokes in. I thought the best moment was we talked about the assassination attempts and made light of what he's experienced, because I think he's experiencing real trauma, real PTSD as a result of the shootings, but he's still able to have a light moment in this room. And he took advantage of the fact that Kamala Harris wasn't there.
Which is really the subtext of this whole thing.
Exactly. That she
They're
didn't
usually
attend.
supposed to be in the same room.
Isn't that interesting? You know, the whole thing really was just the latest demonstration that only one candidate has the strength, courage, and determination to stand up and fight for the American people. And do it all, by the way, with a giant smile on his face. And that candidate is President Donald J. Trump. Kamala, I hate to say it, but your goose has been cooked.